Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with another viewer battle, and today's battle is versus none other than HeffNastyy. Now, as you guys know, Heff and I are pretty good friends, and usually he'll come out for a battle or two, depending on when I'm streaming. And unfortunately, this battle actually got kind of buried under my video content here, so we're actually going to go ahead and get this uploaded now. So, Heff, thank you very much for your patience, buddy. And good luck to you in the battle. So we're going to lead off here with my Ice Rider Calyrex and my Amoonguss. Meanwhile, he's got his Gallade and his Indeedee. Now, Indeedee, of course, did have that Psychic Seed, which means it boosts up its special defense under the Psychic Terrain. And as you can see, I'm also kind of debating, well, am I going to go for the Trick Room here, or am I just going to go in for the Glacial Lance? Now, you can see I'm definitely pondering this kind of situation. It's kind of a risky one considering the whole Gallade on the opposing side getting Sacred Sword. So we're just actually going to lock in here with the Glacial Lance. And then, of course, we're also going to go for the Terrestrialization and go for the Rage Powder. Now, what this is going to allow me to do, first of all, the Glacial Lance will allow me to hit 2 Pokemon at once. And then, of course, the Amoonguss with the Rage Powder is going to allow all the moves to be redirected into the Amoonguss itself. Now, by going with Terra Fairy, that means that I'm going to be able to resist any kind of Psychic-type moves that may be coming on the opposing side, or even that good old Sacred Sword hopefully won't do as much damage. So as you can see, he's gone for the Terra Fire. Definitely a good choice considering the fact that the Ice Rider Calyrex and the Glacial Lance is an Ice-type move. The Amoonguss, of course, is being copycatted by the Indeedee, going into that whole follow me situation. So he's trying to direct all moves into the Indeedee itself. However, with Glacial Lance, we'll be able to hit 2 Pokemon at once. I'm assuming that he was probably thinking that I was going to go for the high horsepower here, and I mean, that does make sense considering the biggest threat on the opposing side is his Lancelot. So here we go, we're kind of debating on what we're choosing, and of course we are also trying to decide what we're going to do here with the Amoonguss. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to go in for the Glacial Lance here once again, but again we are kind of pondering back and forth between the high horsepower. We kind of need to get Gretel out of here so that way we don't get redirected into it, so we're pretty much going to have to go with the same play that we had there prior. So here we go with the Rage Powder again redirecting all moves into the Amoonguss. And then, of course, Psycho Cut coming in from the Gallade. Now, if I had not actually done the redirect, that Psycho Cut may perhaps have gone into the Ice Rider Calyrex. But luckily for us, we're actually going to be able to get another hit off here. Gretel going to go in for that Dazzling Gleam. That should have been able to hit 2 Pokemon at once. However, of course, Amoonguss is gone. Here we go with the Glacial Lance. We actually managed to pick up the KO off onto Gretel, and Gretel goes down. Now, the Gallade, of course, is still an open threat. We also get the attack boost with the whole Chilling Neigh, and the next Pokemon that may come in here, I believe, is my Urshifu. Now, of course, he's going to send in his Black Sun, which is his Necrozma, Duskwing, if I'm not mistaken. And, of course, my Urshifu comes in here, which is the Surging Strike, or Rapid Strike. I just want to give a big shout out to Heff here while we're actually into this battle, just mainly because the team that he's actually using here is a team that I would manage to use in the Global Challenge 2025 Part 3, which obviously are not up on the channel yet, but huge shout out to Heff. I wanted to get into your head and learn how you do your plays, and I appreciate the fact that you allowed me to use this team. Now, obviously, for obvious reasons, we will not be sharing the team out right at this time. The Gallade, of course, is going in for the Wide Guard. Now, of course, Wide Guard is going to be able to block any kind of moves that are going to be able to hit 2 Pokemon at once. And, of course, we are going to go in for that Surging Strikes into Black Sun, which is that Necrozma. As you can see, it's not doing very much damage, but we did manage to pick up a critical hit, which is pretty fantastic, getting a little bit more damage than normal. Now, of course, here is his Meteor Beam. That is going to usually be a move that charges up and boosts up your special attack. However, his Pokemon has a Power Herb, so that's going to allow him to actually attack this turn. But luckily for me, we managed to go in for the Protect here. We're not going to take any kind of damage this turn. Now, of course, it is a little bit risky to stay in here with the Calyrex. Can't really do anything with the whole Wide Guard situation, so I think it's probably best that we actually swap out to Pelipper here. Pelipper not only is going to be able to take a hit, but will also be able to, maybe set up like a Tailwind of some sorts if I really wanted to. So here we go, we got the Pelipper swapping in, and of course it does have the Drizzle, which means that it's going to be able to set up the rain. Not that it really matters in this situation, but here we go with the Surging Strikes into the Necrozma, and 2 hits, we get a critical hit here yet again, and pick up the KO off onto the Necrozma. Now, Gallade is still onto the field here. It is kind of a little bit of a wild card. You never know exactly what's going to happen with this Pokemon. He ends up going in for the whole Trick Room situation, which means that slower Pokemon are going to be able to attack first, and fast Pokemon are going to be able to attack second. Next Pokemon coming in here is going to be Ursaluna, and that is a big threat Pokemon coming onto the field. Considering the fact that the Trick Room is now up, it is a very speedy, or should I say slow, Pokemon. So we do have the capability of going for the Wide Guard, the Hurricane, or the Weather Ball. Weather Ball, of course, is probably the best choice because it's going to be able to be a Water-type move as it's a Ground-type Pokemon. Or we can even attack into the Gallade. Snuggles, of course, going in for the Facade. It is not yet burned, so that doesn't do as much max damage as it wanted to. We actually get knocked out with the Urshifu there, which is unfortunate. I believe that was a Psycho Cut. And here we come back in with the Weather Ball, as I stated above. And we actually managed to pick up the KO off onto Snuggles. So that's a pretty fantastic situation and outcome here. And the last Pokemon that I have on my team, obviously, is my Ice Rider, Calyrex. Now, Calyrex, of course, is not going to be able to do its Glacial Lance, nor would I really want to be able to do that against a Fire-type Pokemon. So we're probably going to end up having to go in with a Stomping Tantrum here. Stomping Tantrum should be able to pick up that KO off onto Lancelot. If I'm lucky, obviously the Pelipper may be able to outspeed here. But there is the high horsepower that's going to be able to pick up the KO, and that is going to be the battle. So good game there, Hef. Thank you very much for the battle, and as well, shout out to you in future battles for this team that I'm going to be testing out for my own needs. Peace out, guys.